What's good, YouTube? Mario Divine back with yet another video. So this video is going to be very different, okay? Again, I don't do a lot of camera reviews on here, but we're going to talk about a camera. The first thing I want to say is that I'm sitting here, I'm recording because I'm trying, I committed. We're going to do this YouTube thing. All right. There are a lot of things that I want to do with this page, with my life. And a lot of it starts with how consistent I am as a content creator, as a personal brand. So I'm going to commit to making these videos. I've recorded 6 videos already just this week for YouTube, and I don't know how many for short form. And another reason why is because I think a lot of times for us creatives, especially when you work in the world, me running a media agency, I get so caught up in the business of video, the business of photo, and I kind of lose touch of why I got into this thing. I wanted something to help me feel again. And that is the reason why, as a Sony user, and you know how clinical Sony is, I got a Fuji X100VI. This was not even about the gear. I just felt so disconnected. But this camera reminded me of why I started doing photography and why I wanted to get into cinematography and color grading. This camera, it took me back to where I belong. And the reason why is because of the tactileness, the approach of photography with this. It's not just so auto everything. Obviously it has autofocus, but it was so many, I felt like I was a kid again. I'm still learning how to use this camera. This is the first impressions. I'm gonna give you some of my first impressions in a second, but I wanna really talk about what this camera has done for me. It's gotten me back in touch with the reason why I picked up a camera in the first place. So let's talk about it. Obviously, you know everything about this thing. I've already kitted it out. I'm gonna do that in another video to show you my best accessories that I have for it. But yeah, this thing here has been incredible. I've shot a lot of photos with it already. In the month that I've owned it, I've already shot a bunch of video with it, just some clips, just to see what it could do, just to see it and compare it to even S-Log3. I know you all are waiting on my LUTs. I've been comparing it using my own LUTs that I've developed with Sony S-Log3, and F-Log is actually very impressive on this camera. I'm actually shocked by it. So let's break down what we have here. First impressions, obviously the body is beautiful. It is a beautiful camera already. Number one, beauty. Like, I've taken this thing to my professional shoots. I'll do like BTS shoots, like shots, little candids and stuff like that. Even people that know nothing about cameras. I mean, I have the FX3, I have the FX6, I have all these really crazy cameras with me. Even the people that are there that know nothing about cameras, what is that? Here's the it's crazy. So in my first impressions, it's just using a body and using a system that didn't feel just like any other system that I was so used to using that just, you know, got the job done. It worked perfectly. This here makes me slow down. This here makes me take note of the image that I'm taking, really frame it up, really get, you know, instead of just, you know, we get so, you know, just trigger happy with our cameras now. We can just shoot because the autofocus is fast, everything, the shutter's fast, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so easy. And this camera made me slow down and just really take in whatever I'm like actually trying to capture. So let's talk the body. What I've learned in using this camera over the month, this body is beautiful, all right? But I'm gonna say something. It's not the most functional to hold. I have pretty big hands for a guy my size. Like, I actually have abnormally big uncle hands, like grandpa big hands for no reason. All right, but let's talk about the body really quickly. I love the rangefinder. Love that look. Okay, I love that feel. It's crazy because with my other cameras, I will look through the EVF, obviously. I have the A7CR up here for the top down. And it's very much got that rangefinder side, but I never look through it. I don't like looking through it. Probably because it's also not a good EVF, but I don't like looking through it. It just doesn't feel comfortable. With this one, I look through it all the time. I prefer to look through it. It looks really nice. Love the screen. Obviously the screen doesn't flip out, and that is okay. At first, I always felt like I gotta have a screen that flip. You don't. This makes me sit and like compose my shot so much. When I'm looking through the rangefinder, it makes me just really focus and compose the shot. And I don't really get a lot of bad shots out of it. It makes me slow down. So instead of, you know, leaving a shoot with hundreds of photos, I can leave a shoot if I'm shooting with this on the side with like not nearly as many photos, but the photos are good. I like the hit rate is good. You know, the chance of getting a composition for me using this camera has been higher just because I actually slow down, take my time, catch the moment. So the more we talk about the body, let's get into it. So my favorite thing about the body, obviously the physical design is beautiful. If I close my eyes, I just feel stuff. It's so bad. I feel stuff, man. I love that you have this tactileness of the aperture wheel. You can listen to it. It sounds great, okay? I love the tactileness of the shutter speed right here. It just sounds great. I love the fact that I can pull this up and I can control my ISO, stick it back down. I just love the look of the even the exposure compensation wheel. You can feel just the grittiness. You can feel that metal brush. I mean, just little stuff. The buttons here, you have custom buttons all over the place that are very small, so it's kind of hard to see that they're custom buttons. You have a dial on the back, you have your drive select, you have your autofocus here, you have your little bitty joystick. It was so funny, I barely saw the Q on the side here because I didn't know that Q was like your menu. So you bring up this really nice quick menu and it's like boom, you see all these settings that you can change. You can also, you know, add more like blocks so you can actually get more settings selections, so that's cool. And of course you have the internal ND inside. I love the fact that you can also toggle this button here, and the way I have it set up is for me to be able to toggle through various quick settings using this here focus wheel. So I like to either use the digital converter or I like to use my film emulations here. I have a custom button right here, really small. Didn't even see it there for a while until I looked at a couple of videos. I was like, oh, I didn't even know there was a button. And I set that one to white balance. Okay, so I have different things. And of course on the front, you can set that to whatever you want. I set this to shutter speed. Okay, shutter speed, ISO. Then I have my quick button for white balance here. And of course, if I want to change the aperture, I can either do it in camera or use this little aperture wheel easily. Other than that, when we're talking about body, you have this side here. You can actually put a microphone in. You have the USB-C if you want to just charge the battery inside. Then of course you have that HDMI mini. That is not what this is for. So for Fuji to even put that in here is just an extra to me. And of course you have your battery at the bottom. Battery life stinks, like people know. I have 3 batteries for it already. And the only gripe I have, again, I have really big, like really big hands. I got big grandpa uncle hands. Like it's always been that way. I got the meanest backhand this side of the Mississippi. You don't want to see it. Let's go to photo image quality that I've already seen. The main reason I wanted this camera, outside of obviously the tactileness and that inspiration, was the film simulations. And I even thought about, hey man, maybe reach out to Fuji to get a GFX. But I was like, no. I actually want my first Fuji camera to be something that I can enjoy, not just from a work perspective, but something that I would like have fun using. And I feel like the GFX was gonna take away the fun because it's such a serious tool that I'm gonna wanna treat it seriously. Obviously, treat your camera seriously, guys. But I wanted something fun, and this has been fun to use. So having this image quality wise, 40 megapixels, I didn't want the Fuji X100VI or the X100V because I felt like I'm so used to doing higher megapixel cameras now. So the A7CR has the 61 megapixels, the A7 IV has the 33 megapixels. So I don't really want to go into the 20s. I'm used to my photos being very sharp and very flexible. Not that I need it, it's just I like the look of having a sharper photo. That's just me, man. So I love the image. Love the image. I get it when people talk about the Fuji colors, the way it renders skin tones is really nice. Hey, shout out to Sony. Obviously, let's say this really quickly. Me shooting Sony, it's not a big deal. Whenever the skin tones come out a certain way, it's such an easy adjustment. It's not a complaint. But I do acknowledge the fact that the Fuji colors, they have a color. The film and simulations from the image quality wise, I've been able to do some of my fitness shoots lately. And on my fitness shoots, I take this with me and I try to like get some photos of it. And like, golly, love the look. Love the look of the film and simulations. Right now, my favorite one that I use is Nostalgic Neg. Let me make sure that's what it's called. I'm over here, I'm an amateur, y'all. Yes, it's Nostalgic Neg or Classic Neg, and I also like to use Classic Chrome if I want a way more neutral look. But I love it. I love the grain. I've been actually using this camera on some of my shoots when I know some of my people are gonna want like that grainy look. Right now, people want that kind of film look from some of the fitness stuff I'm doing, some of the lifestyle fashion stuff I'm doing. So it's really cool to already have that in camera, and they have literally loved the way the photos look. Again, really sharp image. Love the Fujinon lens. This here 23 millimeter is actually really nice. 35 millimeter equivalent, you already know that. These are things you already know, but they did a really good job with that. Now, the way I set mine up is I have it shooting RAW and JPEG, so I pull the JPEGs and I'm able to send it to people really quickly. But when I want that flexibility of having that RAW, I play with the RAWs. Love the way the RAWs work. I use only the dynamic range 100 because I don't like, I'm gonna just shoot the settings correctly, because I do have a lot of stuff that's auto on here, but for the most part, if I'm shooting, man, I didn't buy this for the auto. I bought it because I want to feel it. I want to feel me moving these knobs. I literally want to feel it and to make these adjustments on the fly. Now I do shoot in auto sometimes, but for the most part, I want to be able to move these knobs and like do things. I want to be able to like feel that tactile feeling of me changing the aperture and like doing things. So I don't shoot on auto because like I want to feel this camera. I want to actually play with the cameras, so that makes it a lot easier when I'm also, you know, shooting RAW, because I know I'm going to get a good photo, and that's the reason why I don't use the dynamic range boosters, because I'm going to try to get it with the right exposure anyway. Let's talk about image quality really quickly that I've seen from video. I'm really shocked. Again, I'm shocked that this 6.2K is actually really nice. I'm shocked that the 4K 60 is actually really nice coming out of this camera. I've shot a couple of things, not a lot of stuff, but I've been able to shoot like here and then like throw it in and like see how it mixes up really well. I'm really impressed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really impressed. It makes me want to try other Fuji cameras, I will say that. That's the other reason why I got this thing, is because I did want to try another system. It's been a while since, you know, I've only tried Canon. Well, if we're talking about the DSLR like mirrorless systems, that's all I've tried. But I've tried obviously like, you know, Zcam, Blackmagic, those type of cameras. But when it comes to like the mirrorless lineup, the digital SLR lineup, I've only used Canon and Sony. So this was a new system, new menu. I don't know what I was doing, just trying to go through it and understand it. But so far I've enjoyed using this camera. I have a travel bag now that I use because I have a really big like professional bag. So now I have a smaller like everyday bag that I take with me, iPad, and like one other camera that in case I want to vlog, like a smaller camera. And then I have this with me because, you know, I like to document my day and like take random photos while I'm out and everything, because a lot of times I'm out doing stuff. I'm out living life. I'm out like being a human, not just a creative, but sometimes, you know, as a human, you're still going to want to be creative for fun. And that's why I take this out. And sometimes I'll like use my DJI like mic and I'll record that audio, and I'll still do like a talking head on the go or something with this camera, because again, the F-Log is actually really usable. I'm going to show you how I actually am able to set this up on a tripod and everything without, you know, obviously blocking the battery and everything. But we're going to do that in another video, so I'm going to give you that full breakdown of how I beefed this camera up, because in the end of the day, I wanted it to also work for me, and as it is now, it did not work for me. It didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel like I could, I felt like I was going to drop this camera if I didn't kit it out with the stuff. So again, probably not the most sophisticated video, but I really wanted to give you all my first impressions and kind of let you know my experience as a Sony user using this thing. It has opened my eyes. It has gotten me to reconnect with the version of myself that originally started shooting photos, and that makes me excited. Like, it's been exciting using this camera. It's been enlightening using this camera. It's so funny. It's been enlightening for me, not only as a creative, but as a person, and figuring out where I wanted to go, and just re-identifying why I started cinematography, why I got into it, instead of just worrying about, you know, how much money I'm making, what's the revenue numbers, you know, how many leads are we getting in, and those are important things, but that's not the reason why I create. You know, I create because I actually love creating beautiful pieces of art. But you know, we gotta put food on the table too. Either way, I hope this makes somewhat sense. I know, so random. Either way, in the next video with this camera, we're gonna do more videos obviously with this camera, but the next video I'm gonna show you my accessories that I bought that completed this camera the way that I wanted to use it, and the way that it feels more comfortable for me. So please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next video. I love you.